Hello everyone, and welcome to Butterfly Dreams Crochet. My name is Jeannie, and today is Monday, January 31st, 2022. Let me first welcome all of my new subscribers to my channel. Thank y'all so very much for coming, hitting that subscriber button. I hope you turned your notification bell to all so you will be notified when I release new videos. And to all of my returning OGs, thank y'all so very much. I really do appreciate it, and without y'all, this would not be possible. Now, I'm fixing to do a review of these hooks compared to these. These three right here are the Clover, what's called the Clover Soft Touch hook. You see the clover right there, and then the size. They're a little shiny, so. And you have this little soft grip pad right here. Now, these I saw on Amazon, and I'm like, wow, those look like the soft touch clovers. And I said, well, let me get them and try them. They were $11.99. They're called the 8-piece crochet hook set, aluminum ergonomic knitting needle hook crochet hooks, knitting needle set for crochet and yarn. And that's them right. Oh, and you can't see that. There you go. So they look very similar to the, there we go, to the Clover or more. So, not the Clover more, the Clover Soft Touch. So we're going to do a little comparison. We're going to crochet up some swatches, a couple of swatches, and see do they measure the same based on the hook size. Now I only have the 4, 5, and 6 in the actual Clover Soft Touch. So those will be the ones that I use. And we will look at the difference in these compared to those. 5, 4, and 6. Now right off the bat, what I noticed different is this one right here has a little white stuff around the edge here, which is not a big deal. It's not scratchy, it's not stiff. This seems to have a little more of a grip on it than your Clover ones do. But let's look at the 4. Now the actual Clover has the G 4.0. What I'm going to call the Fake Clover Soft Touch has the 7/0 4.0 millimeter. Now looking at these hooks, you would think they would be identical. I can say this feels like it's coated with this gold tone. This is solid. This does not have a coating on it. So we're going to see how this works up against the yarn compared to this one. See how the yarn slides on this compared to this one. This grip on the Clover is not as grippy as this one. See? So this one does have a little bit more of a grip than these do. Let's look at the heads of them. This is the Clover here. This is the fake Clover. The real Clover has a little more of a tip point on the tip of the head than this one. This one is more rounded. It's not rough though. They both are tapered hooks. And the fake tulip is just a tad bit longer than the real Clover Soft Touch. So and I'm going to be using some paint box yarns, chunky pots that I had left over. That's the colors of it. The colorway is called Fairy Tale. And it is a bulky 5, but it's a little on the small size of the 5. So to start out with, I'm going to start with the 5 millimeter with the Fake Tulip. And I'm just going to work up a little small swatch, one big enough that we can measure, and let's see. Well, I can tell you the yarn glides good on it. No problems, no snagging or anything like that. So it works up good like that. Now let's work down it. We'll do double crochets. So far, so good. Now this is with this yarn. When I go down to a smaller size, we'll use different yarns just to see if the makeup of the yarn has a difference in the way the hooks glide. If I can get my fingers to function right today. I hope everybody's had a good day today. Doing your foundation row is always the most tedious part of crochet. But we gotta do it to get it started, don't we? Can't start a project without a foundation row. I don't care if you're doing the magic circle or if you're working in the rounds, you gotta start with a foundation row. Alright, so I just did rows of double crochet on that go round, and y'all see what happened, don't you? I pulled out a yarn bar. Alright, I'm going to chain one, I'm going to turn, and we're going to do this row in half doubles. I like this hook so far. Like I said, it's not, the yarn is not dragging on it. It's not squeaking. I can have a good grip with it in my hand. It's working out real good, y'all. And for $11.99, you get a whole set, and we'll look at all of them in just a little bit. You can't beat this. So now let's do another row of double, and then we'll stop with this one, and then we're gonna grab our 5.0 in the actual clover hook and do the same stitches. And we're going to actually measure it to see, do you come up with the same gauge. Now this will be a smaller gauge because I'm not doing a 4-inch square, or 4-inch diameter rather, because most gauges are done 4 inches by 4 inches. But I'm just going to work up a couple of rows. Well, Jeannie, first you got to finish your stitch before you move on to the next one. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Does good stitch definition. Now I like this yarn. I like the paint box chunky pots. It works up really, really good. So let's take a measurement of this one, if I can find a tape measure. Well, it's not in here. It is. I got it. Okay. So this one measures 1.5 inches, doing a double, a half double, and a double. And I did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 stitches. And let's see, we'll just measure 3 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stitches is 3 inches, and this little swatch measures 3 inch and a half. Now let me grab my scissors, and we're just gonna cut that off. And now I'm going to set that one to the side, and I'm going to get the actual clover. And we're going to okay, I chained 22, y'all. Now with this one, because this one seems to be a lot more slick, and don't have as much grip on it as the fake one does, I tend to hold this one with 2 fingers when I crochet with them. So I'm just going to come back down, and I'm going to work double crochets all the way down, just like we did before. And it's going to curl because I'm using a 5 on a 5 weight yarn. And I think I will use, no, I'll use a different yarn just to see how the fake ones work with different textures of yarn. Yarn getting hung up on my ring. Alright, so that's the first row. I'm going to chain 1. And we're going to turn, and we're going to do half doubles back down. We can't crochet anything without yarn barbs, can we? Not even a swatch. Alright, I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and now I'm going to come back with a row of double crochets, and we will check our gauge and see how close of a gauge they have with the actual clovers and the fake clovers. That's the only way I know how to describe them, y'all. Actual clover versus fake clover. Soft touch. We're almost done with this yarn bar. This is what I'm going to do with my leftover yarns, is do different hook reviews and show you how each one works up. Okay, so this is with the actual clover hook. So let's cut the yarn. And let's measure this one. Remember, this one measured 1.5 inches wide, long, and it measured 11 stitches for 3 inch, 11 stitches for 3 inches. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We still got 11. And we got 1.5 inches, so the gauge is dead on. There we go. So no difference in the gauge with the Fake Clover and the real Clover Soft Touch. Now we're going to move to the 6mm, and we're going to see what it does. Now this is the 6mm fake, and how you tell them apart is these have the numbers 10/0, and this is 6mm. So see, the yarn's not gliding that good with the 6. Disappointment. It's actually snagging on something, but I don't feel anything. Maybe if I cleaned it or wiped it with a cloth or something, it'll loosen up, or maybe wax paper. So 1, and I can definitely tell it's affecting my tension too. Yeah. Let me pause and grab some wax paper and see if that'll help. Okay, I don't have any wax paper, but what I did was rubbed it with my shirt. And let's see if that helped. No, it did not. Well, yeah, it helped. It helped a good bit. A lot. Still is not as smooth as the 5.0 was with the fake tulip. Still not as smooth. And you can see I'm not crocheting fast at all because of it. But maybe with some wax paper it would help. Seems like it's right in that area right there. I see it's rough right there. Yep. Yeah, the 6.0 is a bust for me with this, with the fake tulip. But we will go ahead and get through with it and compare the gauge of this one. I'm just doing my half doubles now compared to the real Clover. Fake Clover 6.0 is not a go for me, unless I can find a way to smooth it out. It's not going to work for me. I don't like crocheting with anything that I feel like I'm having to fight with, and I'm having to fight with this. See how it's not even gliding up on the hook? Yeah. But for the sake of this review, I'm going to, now this is not no sponsored or paid promotional video or anything like that. I purchased these myself with my own money, because you know that's what we do. We buy stuff and compare it to other products and see what is the similarities. Now the only thing I like about the fake clovers, well, I like the 5. I do like that they have a little more grip than the Clover Soft Touch does. Those Clover Soft Touches are kind of, your fingers slide on them like they have grease on them or something. But these, you can place your hand where it needs to be and it stays there. You don't have to worry about it sliding. Even with me having to fight with the yarn because it's dragging on the hook, so this is this one with the fake one. My hands don't slip on it. So let's cut. Let's measure. So we got about 1 3/4 inches. And we're going to do 3 inches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches. So now we're going to grab the 6mm in the real clover. And let's check it out. And right off the bat, no dragging. Yarn goes on the hook, glides off the hook easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You can definitely see the difference in the speed of my crochet. It's not dragging. My tension, I can tell you, is going to be different with this one compared to the fake one. So I do not expect to get the same gauge on this one as I did the fake one. Because you know your tension has everything to do with gauge. How loose or tight you crochet. And it also can depend on the hooks too. Hooks will make a difference in a gauge. Now I do know for a fact I cannot work with this 6mm Clover Soft Touch and grab my 6mm tulip and expect to get the same results. Even though it's a 6mm, I'm just going to turn and work my half doubles now. Not all 6mm hooks are the same in diameter, and you will get a different size and height of your stitches too. We did a review on that last year. The Yarny Fiber Sisters did. We did a review where we worked up squares and we switched over to the same size hooks but different brands, and some of them caused our square to come in, some of it caused it to go out. So whatever hook you start out with, make sure you use that same hook to complete your project with. What I've been doing, I bought some of the craft tags. You can get them from Dollar Tree. You can get them from Walmart back there by the jewelry section. It's just a little brown tag that has a hole in it. I've been writing all my information on them, putting them with my project. You can put a piece of yarn through it and actually attach it to it. I write down the yarn that I'm using, the hook size that I'm using, and the brand of the hook that I'm using. That way if I need to pull my hook out of that project, I will always know what hook I was using on that project, because it might be months before I get back to it. Okay, so now we've done that one. And we're going to cut. And now let's measure. Now that one measured 1 3/4 inches. Let's see, does this one measure 1 3/4? It does. Right there to right there. Now let's see if we got 9 stitches. So I was surprised. I thought maybe the... Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches. So, the gauge is the same. I would have never thought it, not the way that yarn was. But it is. Okay, let me grab some smaller yarn and we will work with the 4. Now this is just some Premier anti-pilling yarn that I had. Lord, everything I grab, I get a yarn bar. And we're going to work with the 4mm fake one. And let's see. Now this is anti-pilling, it's soft yarn, so this, yeah, it's sliding real good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now I'm only going to do 19 on this one. But I'm going to do the same stitches. I'm going to work double crochets. Now with this yarn, this 4 is working really good. No problems with it. At all. Are they worth the $11.99? Sure. In comparison to the Clover Soft Touch? Sure. If you like how the Clover Soft Touches crochet, but you don't like the slipperiness of the handle of the Clover Soft Touch, you can definitely get this set. Like I said, the handles on these are not as slick as the Clover Soft Touches are. They do create beautiful stitch definitions, which is a lot of what I look for in crochet hooks. How does it make my stitch look? Just like that. Now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn and we're going to work our half doubles. Let me pull some yarn. No snagging, no splitting of the yarn, and you know this Premier anti-pilling yarn can have a tendency to split. It's gliding on the hook. So far, the only issue has been with the 6.0mm fake, and it could just be that yarn. We'll see how it does with this yarn when we're done with these. Okay, now I'm going to turn and I'm going to do my double crochets. Now I like the anti-pilling yarn that Premier has. It's very nice yarn. It's super soft. A bit pricey though. It's $4.49 on their website. And you get like 180 something yards, I think. 180 or 186. We'll look at it and see. I'm going to chain 1 and cut. So that's what that looks like. And this is with the fake Clover Soft Touch. Now I'm going to get my actual clover. Let's see. It's a 4. You get 153 yards. I think they've increased their yardage on it though. Now. I think you get like 180, 186 yards. But that's still a lot for that much yardage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. About the same as far as gliding and stuff goes on the hook. This glides just as good as the fake one did. No difference. I'm not feeling any issues in my hand, because trust me, by now they would start getting numb and tingly like, but no problems right now. And it has gotten dark outside. I'm sitting here with my blind open. Y'all might start hearing bugs hit the window. A lot of times I'm in here crocheting and I hear them hitting the window like they're committing suicide. And I'll peep through the blind. There's all kind of frogs on the window, coming to catch them. Because you know we're in the country, so we have those big old bugs. And the way they hit the window is loud. Okay, do the last row of doubles. I go faster with doubles than I do half doubles, and it's more steps in a double. And after this video, I am doing the tutorial for the calendar, chart I. So y'all be watching for, well, it will only be for those that purchase the pattern. It's going to be set to private. I can't share it for the world to see because it's not my graphs, my charts, my pattern. So it will be for those that purchase the pattern. Alright, so there's that one. Let's cut. And I didn't measure neither one of them. So this is the real clover, so we're going to set it to the side. This was the fake one. And let's measure. So this measures roughly 1.5 inches. And we got, we'll do 2 inches because I don't even know if this equals 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches. And this one is with the real clover. We got about 1.5 inches, so same. They're going to curl because I did a turning chain. And let's see if we got 9 stitches. So we're going to place it there. Whoops, I'm on centimeters. Let me turn back over, Jeannie. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's check this one again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're the same. Get the same gauge. So that's good to know that if I misplace my Clover Soft Touch, I can use the fake one as long as it'll glide with the yarn. Now I'm curious to see, does this yarn glide with the 6? I know this is going to make a big chain, but I just want to see. Or does this get snagged? No, right there. Right there is where it's doing it at. Well, it does go a little bit better. Yeah, it does do a little bit better with this yarn. The paint box chunky pots is it's kind of got a rough texture to it, but it's not rough that it bothers your hands or anything like that. It's definitely something that if you made a wearable out of it or something like that, you would definitely want to wash it before you put it next to your skin, because it does have a little roughness to it. So I'm pleased with them. And like I said, for $11.99, I don't think that's a bad price. So we just reviewed, these are the real clovers right here. These are the fake ones, and we just reviewed them, and you can see the heads of these are a lot shinier than these. These are like the anodized aluminum. These actually look like they might be plated, but it says aluminum, which they could be aluminum with a plate on it. But I like them. Like I said, the grip here is more grippier than here. See, I can't just, if I put pressure, I don't slide as much, and I'm putting the same amount of pressure on both of them. I will say though that this does not feel completely in. You do have a gap. You probably won't be able to see that, but you have a gap right there. There you go, right there. These tend to have more grip when you're crocheting with them compared to these. These are just real slick, like your hands slip on them. But these, your fingers tend to stay in place. These are a lot thinner. The fake ones are a lot thinner than the real ones. So I hope y'all enjoyed this review. It's been 36 minutes. Lord have mercy. So thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow night on my live, and after that Saturday with the Yarny Fiber Sisters. Y'all have a good night, and I will talk to y'all later.